Now, waste management is simply defined as the activities or the action which is required so that the waste from its inception to its final disposal. Okay, so each step between these two process are come under the category of waste management. Okay, each step, activities, action, everything come under this process from the inception to the final disposal are called a waste management. Okay, so either it included like collection, even the transport, and even how we treat the disposable weight, and how we monitor this disposal weight, and how we regulate this. So all these come under the waste management system. Okay, it also encompasses the legal and regulatory framework. Okay, so the disposal of the waste are under the category of legal and regulatory framework that relate to waste management, encompassing guidance on recycling, etc. Okay, see here now what is seen is what is written in the slide. Waste management is all those activities and action which is required to manage the waste from its inception to its final disposal. This includes, amongst other things, collection, transport, treatment, and disposal of waste together with monitoring and regulation. Okay, now the next one is your waste management. Waste management is simply means that the collection, transport, recovery, and disposal of waste. Okay, so waste management is what? Waste management is simply defined as the collection of the waste, and transport of the waste, recovery of the waste, because there are something which can be recovered from the waste, and after that, at the end of the process is what? It is the disposal of the waste. Okay, which include the supervision of such operation and aftercare of disposal site. However, the new concept of this waste management is what? It is about the reduce, reuse, and recycle of the waste. Okay, so this waste management our work on our 3R, which means that reduce, reuse, and recycle of the waste. How we reduce the waste which are produced in a industry, how we reuse this waste, and how we recycle the waste, it come under the waste management 3R process: over and above waste disposal. Okay, so this 3R above the waste disposal. Now, which three are? That is your reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, so it means that the disposal of the from this 3R is better than the disposal of the waste. Now, the next is your effect of the waste. Okay, now see what is the effect of the waste on a environment. Okay, so the first effect is what? Surface water contamination. We all know that when the industry um, dump their waste in the water, now the first thing that is affected is the surface of the water. Like sometimes you see in the news that there is a like foam like structure are occur in the surface of the river. This will occur. This was occur why? Because of the industrial waste. Okay, then along with it, the groundwater will also contaminate it. Soil contamination, because sometimes the waste which are produced by the different industries are disposed into the soil, and it will reduces the agriculture property of the soil, reduces the agriculture property of the soil. Okay, and of course air contamination, because there is a various gas which are generated from the different industries is, okay, there is a gases which are generated from the different industries. Okay, and it will ultimately affect the quality of the air, affect the quality of the air. Now the next effect is what? It is the economic effect. Economic effect is what? Municipal well-being and recycling revenue. Because when we recycle something, the cost of the recycling is very high. So recycling revenue is the best, is the big effect in the economic, and along with it, the municipal well-being will also affect. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the 3R. So in 3R, the first one is what? It is the recycle. It is what? It is the recycle. So in when we talk about the recycle, then it means that the it save the limited natural resources. Okay, so recycle, what they do, they save the limited natural resources and also prevent the greenhouse gas emission and water pollutant. Okay, so when we do a recycle, then it will prevent the greenhouse gas emission, and it also prevent the water pollutant. It save the energy and provide a raw material for the industry and create a job, save our landfill spaces. Okay, that's why this recycle call. Okay, now the second 3 R's is waste reduction. Okay, so here it make a double-sided copies, circulation memos, documents and periodicals, use durable cups and silverware, proofread document on the computer screen. Okay, so when we read the document in a on a computer screen, then in the waste will not produce by the papers. Purchase merchandise with the minimal packaging or order in bulk. Read periodically outline. Send a e-card. Also reduce a junk mail by writing to the Direct Marketing Association at a mail references services, PO Box 9008, Farmingdale, NY 11735-9008. Now the next is your reuse. Okay, so what should we do? We reuse the envelope, reuse the single-sided paper for a scratch paper, reuse the foam peanut and other packaging material, use a remanufactured or a surplus office equipment, use a rechargeable batteries, use a rechargeable fax, printer cartridges, compact grass clipping and food waste, compost grass clipping and the food waste, and also denote the toys and other items to the charity. Okay, this all about the reuse of the waste. Reuse of the waste. So when we reuse the waste, then the disposable of the waste decreases. Disposal of the waste decreases. Now the next is your waste hierarchy. Okay, so waste hierarchy, the first one is what? It is the prevention. It is what? It is the prevention. Now the next is your minimization. Okay, first of all, we have to prevent the waste. And if we not prevent it, then we have to minimize the waste. Then after minimization, we have to reuse the waste. The waste which are produced, then it should be a reuse. Then recycling. Then energy covering. Okay, and at the end is what? It is the disposal. It is the first one, that is your prevention, is come under the category of most favored option, and disposal are come under the category of least favored option. Okay, so the option which are mostly used is what? We have to prevent the waste production. Now the next is your sources of the waste. Okay, of course, household are the sources, industry are the sources, agriculture landeds are the sources, fisheries are the sources. Pie chart of the sources of the waste. Around 38.1% waste are produced by our paper and paperboard. Waste are produced by a paper and paperboard. Now 13.4% waste are produced by a yard waste. 7.7 waste are produced by a metals. 9.4% waste are produced by a plastics. 10.4% waste are produced by a food waste. Okay. See, this is a very large number. Around 10.4% are wastes which are produced by a food. So it should be controlled. Now 5.9% waste are produced by our glasses. 5.2% waste are produced by our wood. 9.9% wastage are produced by other thing. Okay, so this is a pie chart of the sources of the waste. Now the method of the waste disposal. Method of the waste disposal. So this waste disposal topic are already discussed in detail. Disposal are already discussed in detail, and the video related to this are already uploaded in our channel. You can go and check it. Here what should I'm going to do? I'm going to just tell you the basic of all these things. Okay, but in detail the topic are already uploaded in our account. Land filling. It is the obviously land filling is what? It is the most traditional method of the waste disposal. Okay, in this method what happens? Suppose that there is some land are there. Now all the wasted are dumped into this land. Wastes are dumped. So this is very traditional method, but there is a drawback because the dumping of the waste are produced in an open area, so it will leads to the diseases. Now see what is written in a slide. It is the most traditional method of waste disposal. Waste is directly dumped into a disused quarries, mining voids, or a borrow pits. Disposed waste is compacted and covered with the soil. Gases generated by the decomposing waste material are often burned to generate the power. It is generally used for our domestic waste. So this landfilling are what they are generally used for our domestic waste, the waste which is produced by a household. Advantages: site is cheap, waste disposal option for the local council. Okay, so when we dump the waste into an open land, then the uh, site for the waste disposal are very cheap, and along with that there is an option for a local council. Job will be created for a local people because they dump into it and work at that area. Lots of different type of wasted can be disposed of by landfilling in comparison to other waste disposal method. The gases given off by the landfill site could be collected and can be used for generating the power. Disadvantages: if something has a advantages, then it should also have some disadvantages. The site will look ugly while it is being used for landfill. There is a dangerous gases are given off from a landfill site, which causes a local air pollution, which contribute in a global warming. Okay, so when there is a gases producers in that site, then it will causes a air pollution and also contribute in a global warming. Local stream could become a pollutant with a toxin seeping through the ground from the landfill site. Once the site has been filled, it might not be able to be used for a redevelopment as it might be too pollutant. Now the next is your land required for a disposable of MSW and emission of methane room landfill. There is a two graph, one which indicate that the land which is required for a disposable of MSW. Okay, and the second graph which represent the emission of the methane room. Okay, here this is your the land requirement per kilometer, and this is about the year. So you see that when a year increases, like the first one is 1997, then 2001, 2011, 2021. After that, this will be a assumption. 2031, 2041, and 2042. This is what this is your assumption. So you can see that the requirement of the land will also increases like this. Like in 2000, we required around 14,000 kilometer land for our disposable of the MSW. Here again, this is your methane emission million ton per year, and here it is the year. Or you can also see that when the year are increases, the emission of the methane will also increases. Now the next is your incineration. Incineration is a treatment of the waste. Okay, incineration is what? It is the treatment of the waste. Treatment of the waste, which involve the combustion of the solid at 1000 degrees Celsius. Okay, so when we have a solid waste, then we treat this solid waste at 1000 degrees Celsius. Then this waste, solid waste are converted into a ash. Flue gas and heat. This ash are mostly formed by a inorganic constitute of the waste and gases, which is due to the organic waste. Then the heat which is generated due to the incineration is used to generate the electric power. Now the next, now the advantages of this incineration. First advantages is that the minimum land is required, which is compared to the other disposable method, because what we have to do, we have to convert the solid waste into a ash. For this, we required only a minimum land as compared to the other disposable method. The waste is reduced, the weight of the waste is reduces around 25% of the initial value. Okay. No risk of polluting local stream and groundwater as in landfills. Okay, so when we converted the solid waste into a ash, then it there is a no risk in a pollution which is either create in a local stream or a groundwater as which are caused due to the landfill. Incineration plant can be located very close to the residential areas. So gases are used to generate a power, and even the gases which are produced during the incineration are used in a generation of the power. Now again, if something is an advantage, then it should also have a disadvantages. So it is very expensive because you can see that the heat which is required is 1000 degrees Celsius. So for this purpose, it is very costly, and it also required a skilled labor. Otherwise, it will cause a hazard. The chemical that would be released into the air could be a strong pollutant and can be destroy the ozone layer. This is very like you can say that this is a major disadvantage that the gases which are produced during this are what they are a strong pollutant and it can destroy the ozone layer and high energy requirement. Now the next is your compaction. Compaction means that the waste is compacted or compressed. The waste are compacted and compressed. It also break up the large or the fragile item of the waste. Now, this process is a conspicuous in the feed at the back end of many garbage collection vehicles. Deposit reuse at the bottom of the slope for a best compaction and it will control the blowing litter. Pyrolysis is the fourth method for the waste disposal and it can be defined as a thermal degradation of the waste in the absence of air so that the char can be produced. Pyrolysis oil produce and syngas are produced. Okay, so pyrolysis are what they are thermal degradation. Okay, and uh, this thermal degradation can occur in the absence of air, which is result the production of the three thing. One is your char, pyrolysis gases, and the last one is your syngas. Okay, for example, conversion of the wood to the charcoal and it is defined as a destructive distillation of the waste in the absence of oxygen. External sources of heat is employed in this process. See, this is the pyrolysis diagram. Now, making a biogas. Biogas are typically referred to the mixture of different gases which is produced by the breakdown of the organic matter. When there is a breakdown of the organic matter occur, then there is a mixture of gases are produced which is called a biogases. Okay, but in this biogases the oxygen are absent. The oxygen are absence. Biogas can be produced either from a raw material like your agriculture waste, manure, municipal waste, plant material, sewage, greenhouse, or a food waste. And it is renewable resources and in many cases exert a very small carbon footprint. So this is about the biogas. Now the next is your problem with the plastic. So when we dispose the plastic, then it will cause a major problem. Like we all know that this plastic are what they are a non-biodegradable material. That's why it is a major problem of the pollution. Burning of these waste plastic bags also causes the environmental pollution. Okay, suppose that what should we do? We have a waste of plastic bag. Now we burn it. When we burn it, it will cause a environmental pollution. That's why the plastic are banned. It mainly consists of the low density polyethylene. This plastic are consist of the low density of the polyethylene to find its utility in bituminous mixes for a road construction. Laboratory performance studies were conducted on bituminous mixes. Laboratory studies which proved that the waste plastic enhanced the properties of the mix. Improvement in the properties of the bituminous mix is also provide the solution for the useful disposal of the waste, plastic waste. Now making a plastic road. Plastic we are used in our road construction is not a new concept, but recent studies in this direction have shown some hope in form of using a plastic waste in a road construction, that is plastic roads, plastic use plastic carry bags, disposable and PET that collected from the garbage dump and important ingredients of the construction material. When the mixed with hot bitumen, plastic melt to form an oily coat over a aggregate, and the mixture is laid on a road surface like normal tar road. Now the next is your advantages. No cracking or potholes, resistance to the water. It also reduces the cost of the maintenance, and it also reduces the stress on the bitumen, which is not an unlimited resource either. And again, if something has an advantage, then it also have a disadvantage. Cleaning process, the first disadvantage of this is what is that this cleaning process. Toxic are present in the co-made plastic waste, and it would start leaching during the road laying process. In the presence of chlorine will be definite, it release noxious HCl gases, and after the road laying it is open that the first rain will trigger the leaching, as a plastic will merely form a sticky layer. Mechanical abrasion, the component of the road once it has been laid are not inert. Now solid waste in India, around total solid waste or a hazardous waste which are produced in India is around 7.2 million ton. 7.2 million ton hazardous waste are produced in India. 1 square kilometer of additional landfill area every year. Okay, so suppose that if in 2001 the land area is around 1000 square kilometer, then in 2002 it will increases again 1 square kilometer. Around 1600 crore treatments are required for a disposal of these wastes, and in addition to this, industries discharge about 150 million ton of high volume of low hazard waste every year, and which is mostly dumped on an open low lying land area. Growth of the solid waste in India. Waste is growing by the leaps and bounds. If we take a data around 1981 to 1991, then population of the Mumbai is increases around 8.2 million to 12.3 million. And if we talk about the same period, then in that period the municipal solid waste has grown from 3200 ton to 5355 ton, and there is an increase of 67%. Like the other cities like your Bangalore, it will also produces the around 2000 ton of waste per annum, and this waste are collected very low for all Indian cities. Now the next is your wastage per India cities. So then you see that the Mumbai are produces larger number of wasted, that is your 9,500. And then Bhopal is 700, Hyderabad 3,000, Ahmedabad 3,600, and Bangalore is around 3,000. So if we take about the data, then this waste is according the per day, empty per day. Okay, so Bhopal are producing 700 empty per day, which is the lowest for all the cities, and the highest is produced by the Mumbai. Now, the next is your waste collection in India. Primarily, it is collected by a municipality, no gradation of waste product, example, biodegradable glasses, polybags, paper, shred, etc. Now, it can be dumped the waste into a city outskirts. Uh, Now, local Raddiwala and Kabadiwala collecting small iron pieces by the magnetic collection of the glass bottle and collection of the paper for the recycling. It will collected by the local kabadiwala or raddiwala. How solid waste are affected in a recent year. Now I'm going to take a data of Mumbai 2005. It closed the sewage line due to the large number of plastic bag. Blast in a Bhusan Street factory at Noida caused due to the imported scrap from the Iran. Reduction in the number of the migrating birds due to the consumption of the contaminated food. Animal dying on a street and farmland due to the consumption of the plastic bag, which also block the food movement in their stomach. What happened then? The animal which are present in a street, they consume a food. Okay, now in their food there is a plastic bags are present, and sometime uh, they also consume the plastic bag. Okay, it will block the movement of the food in their stomach, due to which the animal are die. So this is this solid waste are affected the country. International awareness regarding the waste. Now if we take a data of 1992, uh, there is a conference called Rio Conference. In this conference, the main motive was that waste was made one of the priority of the Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally, and was adopted by more than 178 government at the United States Conference in Rio de Janeiro. At the Jo- Johannesburg World Summit on Sustainable Development in 2002, it focused on the initiative of the accelerated the shift to the sustainable consumption and the production reduction of resource degradation, pollution, and waste. Implement, im- Implementation plan adopted by the summit stated that the priority to be prevent and it will be minimize the waste and maximize the reuse, cycling, and use of environmentally friendly alternative material with the participation of the government authorities. All stakeholder is to be minimize adverse effect on the environment, and also it will be improve the resources of the efficiency with the financial, technical, and other assistance for the developing country. Now this would include action at all the level, developing management system with the highest priority placed on a waste prevention and minimizes reuse, recycling, and environmental sound disposable facilities, which included the technology which recaptured the energy which contained the waste. International awareness regarding the waste. Promote the waste prevention and minimization of the encouragement production of reusable, consumable goods and biodegradable products. Waste management policies. So the first policies of waste management is what Environmental Protection Act in 1986, then a hazardous waste rule 1989, biomedical waste rule 1998, municipal solid waste 2000, waste management act 1996, solid waste policy in India 2006. Did you know about 0.1 million ton of the municipal solid waste is generated in India every day. That is approximately 36.5 million ton annually. Per capita waste generation are approximately in major Indian cities range from 0.2 kilo to 0.6 kilogram. Difference in per capita waste generation between lower and higher income group range between 18 to 800 gram per day. 180 to 800 gram per day. The urban local bodies spend approximately 500 to 1500 rupees per ton on a solid waste for the collection, transportation, treatment, and the disposable. Around 60 to 70% of this amount is spent on the collection, 20 to 30% on transportation, and less than 5% on final disposal. Calorific value of Indian solid waste is in between the 16 and 800 calorie per kilogram, and the density of the waste are in between the range of 330 to 560 kilogram per meter square. Now, waste collection efficiency in Indian cities ranges from 50 to 90%. Out of the total municipal waste which are collected, on an average 90% are dumped on a land and 5% are composited. Between 2000 to 2025, the waste composition of Indian garbage will be undergo the following changes. Organic waste will go up from 40% to 60%. Plastic will rise 4 to 6%. Metal will accelerate from 1 to 4%. Glasses will increase 2 to 3%. Paper will be climb from 5 to 15%, and other like your ash and grid will decreases from 47 to 12%. Conclusion, it is found that with increase in the global population and the rising demand for food and other essentials, there has been a rise in amount of waste being generated daily by each household. Waste that is not properly managed, especially excreta and other liquid, and a solid waste that from a household and the community are a serious health hazard, and it will lead to the spread of the infectious diseases. So this is all about the waste management. I hope you will understand. If you have any query related to this topic, you can ask me in a comment box, or for a further detail, you can follow the ITLS Academy on different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and subscribe our channel ITLS Academy on YouTube and get our app from a Google Play. Or for a further query, you can ask your query to the helpline number that are already mentioned in your slide. That is 7080833450, and visit our website www.itlsacademy.com. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel.